How to add streaming services to your smart TV. This is part 2, websites to legally watch free movies online. I'm Hewie Poplock. In part 1, we added a streaming service to a Fire TV and a Roku TV. Here in part 2, we'll look at several free streaming services to watch movies, TV shows, sports, and more. I needed to add a couple of items to part 1 before I start with part 2. Sometimes you have to activate a service. It'll put up an activation code, which you then have to go to a website and type in that code. As soon as you do, you have access to that service. You can also watch TV on your PC, your Mac, your Chromebook, or Android phone or iPhone. Here is an example on Pluto TV. You can look at the schedule and watch a movie and then full screen the movie if you wish. Here are some websites with free movies. Those in bold are ones that I have on both of my TVs. Here are the links to all of them. I will post them on my YouTube channel. It might be time to say goodbye to Netflix, Hulu, or Disney Plus, especially if you're trying to lower your monthly costs. You'd be surprised how quickly all of those services can add up and match your cable bill. Luckily, you can keep your spending in check and still get your cinema fix. There are plenty of places online to stream movies and TV shows for free legally. And here are some of the best options. Hoopla. Many people don't know that their local library card can get them more than just books. If your local library supports it, you can also gain access to a couple of different services that let you watch free movies online, and Hoopla is one of them. Hoopla features tons of free movies and TV shows online and through its mobile app. Beyond movies, Hoopla also has tons of ebooks, comics, music, and audiobooks so that it can become your one-stop entertainment shop. Keep in mind that Hoopla works kind of like a standard library, so you'll only be able to borrow a certain number of movies, TV shows, or books and have a set time to finish them before you have to check them out again. Here's a screenshot of Hoopla. Amazon Freevee, formerly IMDb TV, is one of the best websites for movie lovers to catch up on all sorts of movie and celebrity-related content. It offers local movie showtimes and ticketing, trailers, movie critic and user reviews, personalized recommendations, and even a robust library of free movies online. The service comes bundled together with Amazon Prime memberships too. It features fun family favorites, but it also has many cult classics as well. Whatever kind of mood you're in, you can bet Amazon Freevee has something for you. And here is a screen capture of some of what's available on Freevee. Popcorn Flicks. Popcorn Flicks is a straightforward video streaming service to watch free movies online. It hosts tons of films, TV shows, and documentaries. The service has been around for nearly a decade now, but the library seems to have made a recent move towards B-movies. It features a well-organized directory to quickly peruse the various genres you're interested in, including new arrivals, foreign films, and even Popcorn Flicks originals. And here is a screen capture. Canopy. Just like Hoopla, all you need to get up and going with Canopy is a library card. We can't guarantee every library supports it, but Canopy is a treasure trove of free movies online if yours does. You may also be able to tap into Canopy's library through your school or university. You can access Canopy online or through the service's mobile app, and there are more movies than you could ever hope to watch. Plus, Canopy's movie selection is top-notch, featuring award-winning films from studios like A24. Plex. Plex is a valuable tool for people who want to access their personal media library from anywhere in the world. But that's not all it does. Plex now has its own online ad support media library, so users can watch tons of free movies online without having their own collection. This selection of free content fits seamlessly within the existing Plex interface so that you can access it either from the app or within a browser. Whether you're already a longtime Plex user or you've never heard of it, this new movie selection is worth a look. Pluto TV. One itch most streaming services don't scratch is the need to channel surf like you can on cable television. That's where Pluto TV comes in. Pluto TV features tons of free movies, TV shows, and cartoons online and through the Pluto TV app, but it presents them in a way that's more akin to a classic cable. Pluto TV has a section where you can stream content on demand, but it also features more than 250 channels that you can tune into to watch at previously scheduled times. Naturally, that comes with a few downsides, but if you're looking for a one-to-one replacement for your existing cable service, Pluto TV has you covered. Tubi. Tubi TV has been around since 2014, and since then, the service has grown to become one of the highest quality free movie streaming services you can find online. What's excellent about Tubi is that it offers some of the overall best films on this list. It also boasts various genres you won't find on many other free services like LGBTQ, home and garden, reality TV, and musicals. It also has many hand-curated collections, so if you have difficulty finding what you want to watch, Tubi will help you narrow it down. There's also a growing number of exclusive movies on Tubi. YouTube. YouTube is chock full of content creators, vloggers, and even original content. But what people might not know is that YouTube also offers a library of movies and TV shows beyond YouTube originals. Within that online library, there is an entire selection of movies you can watch entirely for free. Though the free library isn't the largest on this list, you'll find horror films, comedies, action flicks, dramas, and even children's movies. So the next time you check out the Android Authority YouTube channel, be sure to scout out YouTube's free movie library. The Roku channel. You can watch a bunch of free movies and TV shows on the Roku channel. The streaming service also gives you free access to live TV. There is no subscription fee involved, and you can watch the free titles available on the service through your Roku device, other streaming devices, or even a web browser. The service even has a few exclusive new movies you won't find anywhere else. Peacock. Peacock is a streaming service run by NBC Universal. The platform lets you watch around 13,000 hours of content for free, including feature films and TV shows like This Is Us, Law and Order, SUV, and more. The only caveat is that you'll have to watch some ads while binging it for free. Limited content on Peacock is available for free, no credit card required. You just need an email address and a password to sign in to access thousands of hours of great entertainment instantly. Vudu. Vudu is mostly known as a place to rent or buy digital movies and TV shows. However, it also has a growing number of films and TV series you can watch for free with ads. Best of all, if you really like a movie you watch for free, you can always purchase it so you can watch it without ads and not have to worry about it disappearing from the free library. Xumo. Xumo is owned by Comcast, which also owns Peacock. Zumo has a number of older and more recent movies to watch, although most are not as high profile or have as high review scores as you can find on Peacock. However, Zumo does have a small number of exclusive films to watch. This has been Websites to Legally Watch Free Movies Online, which is part 2 of how to add streaming services to your smart TV. I'm Hewie Poplock.
The Royal Air Force flight carrying Queen Elizabeth's coffin from Edinburgh to RAF Northolt near London set an all-time flight tracking record on flight radar with 5 million people following. 4.79 million people viewed the flight across Flight Radar 24's web and mobile app service, and a further 296,000 followed the flight via YouTube live stream. It's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior. As a flight surgeon, I've always been interested in aircraft. I use Flight Radar 24 all the time and made this video just so you'll be aware of this software. I use the free version and have no affiliation with Flight Radar 24. If you like this video, we'd sure appreciate the like and subscribe. Flight Radar 24 is one of my favorite apps and is available on Android or iOS. It also has a website and can be accessed on any device. Over 50 million people have downloaded the app from the Android Play Store, and it remains one of the most popular services for tracking flights. So in 2006, two Swedish aviation enthusiasts got together. They formed a company called Flight Radar 24, and by 2009, it was ready to go live. So what did they do, and how did this all come to pass? All aircraft broadcast a signal. This signal is called ADS/B. And in this ADS-B signal, there's a lot of information about the aircraft. This is speed, height, direction, etc. A lot of information is broadcast, and every single aircraft flying, all 180,000 in the air right now, broadcast out this information. What these two people were able to do was to develop a receiver to receive this information. These receivers could be produced at a very low cost and were initially distributed through Europe. This quickly allowed them to track and locate all the aircraft with speed, direction, etc. for each individual machine. So at time of launch, Flight Radar 24 was able to show you the tracking of, mostly in Europe at that time, of planes that were flying in different locations. This quickly expanded over the next few years to a worldwide service. These small receivers, about 30,000, were produced at a very low cost and could be put in people's homes, or they could be put in very small locations. But as long as they were distributed around the world, they would receive this data that the airplanes were broadcasting, and this would go into the main computer at Flight Radar 24 and would be broadcast out for you to see in the form of a radar signal. It's not really radar, but when you look at it, it looks like a radar screen. This service has become extremely popular. It's used worldwide by airlines, accident investigation, transport companies, the public. Everybody uses Flight Radar 24. Yes, it is used worldwide. The unique thing about this app is that it's free. Yes, you can download it. Now, there are some paid features, which we'll discuss in a few minutes, but it is a free app. So I would encourage you to download it, and let me explain how this differs from regular information you might get about your flight and why this is important to use if you're going to an airport. So let's have a look at this. So if you go to an airport and you're traveling, the first thing you do when you get there is you look at the arrivals screen and find out if your plane is on time. This is usually a large screen at right when you come into the airport, and you'll see all the airlines have their arrival and departure times. It's often very confusing because there's so many. Now, the information that is put into this screen is from the airlines. These screens and information services are usually owned by the airport, and the feeds that go into this are from the airlines. This is important because we'll talk about this in a minute. Now, the airports all have websites, so you also can get this information from the airport website under the arrivals and departure section. But the information fed into their website is the same information that gets into those large screen TVs in the airports. Another way that you might get information, and probably the best, is from an app on your phone related to that specific flight you're taking. So if it is an American Airlines flight, then there will be an American Airlines app, and you can actually receive information right from the airline in that app regarding your flight. So if you are traveling, it is important that you download the app, and that's one of the best ways to get information about your flight. So when things are going well, that's fine, but there often is crisis. There could be bad weather and a lot of flights getting canceled. There could be an electronic problem and an airline can't load their flights. There can often be a big disaster when you get to the airport and you look on that screen and it says pending, unavailable, rescheduled. There's something there, and you look up at that screen and you think, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to stand in line for hours to figure out what's going on. Well, there is another way that you can get information, and that, of course, is with Flight Radar 24. Because remember now, Flight Radar 24 is giving you information that's coming not from the airline or the airline input. You're getting this as data from the plane as it flies. So you will know exactly where that plane is in the sky and if it has left the previous destination. Now, as you track that plane across the skies, it will also give you a very accurate time of arrival. The time of arrival is when the wheels touch down on the landing surface. This is not the arrival time at the gate. The arrival time at the gate is the one that the airlines use on those big TVs. Remember, on a large airport, the airplane is going to have to taxi quite a long way to get to the gate, and you're assuming the gate is empty. If there's 2 planes waiting at that gate to unload passengers, the actual time at gate may be different. But in a pinch, when you're looking in the airport and you're on those big screen TVs and you want further information, Flight Radar 24 is great. Plus, it gives you accurate information that doesn't come from the airlines. If they tell you that that plane is going to be there in an hour, but you look on Flight Radar and it's still 4 hours from the airport because you can see it in the sky flying, then you know things aren't exactly as the airline is telling you. So that's why Flight Radar is such an important app to have, particularly if you're traveling. All right, so you're tracking a plane with Flight Radar 24. How would you like to sit in the captain's chair? Yes, you can sit in the captain's seat and view as the pilot would see looking out through the cockpit. Or you could be in a chase plane behind and actually have a view of the plane from above. Or you can be in front of the plane and see all the spectacular scenery just as the pilot would be seeing it as he's flying. On Flight Radar 24, of the free version. But it's amazing the graphics that you can see. And as your loved one is traveling on a flight across the ocean or landing in Hawaii, you too can be watching the same scenery that they are as well. It's amazing. And the graphics are really good, even on your phone. It's truly unbelievable. And no, you do not get to fly the plane. You have to have a pilot's license to do that. So give it a try. It is a lot of fun. It certainly is something you should be using if you're at an airport, and something I use all the time. It's free and available to download either as an Android app or as iOS.
Windows 22H2, the latest update to Windows 11, made some welcome changes to the initial release of Windows 11, particularly with the Start menu. So with the Start menu, you now can do some customization to this. As you see, I currently have 3 rows of pinned apps, and there's 3 rows of recommended, which I think this is more appropriately titled as recent, but these are some of the documents and other things I've recently worked on, and they're showing under here as recommended. But if I go to personalization, in settings, and here at the Start menu, you see now I can make changes to the number of roles I have over the default. So now I can have like 4 rows of pinned apps and 1 row of recommended or suggested, or whatever you want to call these recent applications that I've looked at. Or I can do and have more recommendations just by merely selecting that particular option. And if I go here to my Start menu, you see now I have a lot more apps that are in view. And likewise, I can go to more recommendations. And if I go to my Start menu, I have more recommendations and less pinned. So it all depends on how you wish to use this. One of the other things that has that's a welcome change is that now I can create folders by just pulling an app on top of one. So if I wanted to group my Microsoft applications all together, I can put them there, and now I can have a folder, and I can have these all grouped together. And then I guess I can also move this whole thing, if I like to, any place else I like to be on the screen. So that's a new addition, which is quite welcome. One of the other things that we have that's we can do with the Start menu, we can show more recently added apps. If we don't want that, we can turn that off, and that will change the view of that as well. So there's a lot of customization. Also, something that that I like to do is that here in the folders, when I click this, it allows me to select what folders I want to show on my Start menu. For instance, I have my settings button here at the bottom rather than have it as an app. And I also have my network access, and this right here is documents. So I can launch these from here if I desire. But you can do that by going in the start personal and personalization start in folders and make those changes. And of course, I think I've told you before that these sort of indicate where you are. They call them breadcrumbs. So if I want to get back to the personalization, I can just click here. It takes me one screen back. Or if I want to get to the home suite of settings, I can use the back button as well. One of the things that has always been a issue is how to go about changing your default apps. So I can go here and go to apps and here choose default apps. And I have two choices. I can type, say for instance, if I wanted to find make a Adobe my default PDF reader. As you well know, Edge also has that capability, but I want to use Adobe Acrobat. So I'm going to just type PDF here. And you notice that I've given a choice. It says PDF, so I choose that. And now I see I have Adobe Acrobat as one of my choices. I can go here and I can select it as being the default app and set it as a default. Or I could also, if I wanted to continue to use, make Edge the default, I could do that, or any one of these others. That would also hold true, say for instance, if I wanted to have a default browser. So I'm going to go here and type here Chrome as my default browser, and it comes up as Chrome. I can then choose it, and it says make Google Chrome my default browser, and then I can just go here and select it as the default. But you also can select these as a default as by file type. So if you have a particular file type you want to use and use it with a particular application, you can also go and use that particular file extension as a default. And for those of you that have laptops, Microsoft has provided a new application, or at least an improved application for battery life visualization. So to get to that, you want to go to settings, system, and then over here on the left side, you want to go to power and battery. And here you'll see a graphic of how your battery usage is. On my laptop now, I have 60%. And then over here is showing me the battery levels that and how they were used. And I can go view detailed information if I like. And as you can see here, it tells you, gives you a snapshot of exactly how your battery is being used and what, how the applications are actually affecting your battery life. And I know it's probably a little bit of trivia, but it's kind of interesting to be able to see how your power and battery is being used. You can also, it'll tell you, in this case, it says my screen brightness is too high, or uses more power than usual. and it gives me an opportunity to be able to lower that. I also can go here and change my screen and sleep power settings. When battery power is on, I can turn the screen on after and adjust the minutes for how it is when it's on battery power, when it's plugged in. It also has the option of choosing the power mode. So I can switch this to optimize between power and performance. So right now it's using the best power efficiency, but if I want best performance, I could also select that, or I could use balanced. You can also find out about power consumption, and then there is a battery saver to extend the battery life by limiting some notifications and background activity, and it will turn on at 20% of your battery. If you want to extend that, you can change that as well. So there's quite a different options for having your laptop, so using your laptop battery for different situations. So that's really all I have today for our tips for Windows 11. The next time I'm hoping to be able to give you some tips on using the new File Explorer, which 22H2 incorporated tabs. And there's a couple other changes too as well. So we'll discuss those as part of our next discussion on Windows 11 tips. Back to you, Ron.